Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right. The recently retired Tim Bradley basically says one of the things he regrets in his career is not getting a fight with Floyd Mayweather. He really wished that fight would have happened. Well, here's the thing. Tim Bradley has nobody to blame but himself for not getting a fight with Floyd Mayweather. There were always talks of Tim Bradley fighting Floyd Mayweather, but nothing ever came about it because one, Tim Bradley decided to re-sign with Top Rank when he could have went several directions. And at the time when he re-signed with Top Rank, Floyd, I think, was still doing somewhat business with Golden Boy. So I think there was an opportunity to make that fight, and Tim Bradley just decided to re-sign with Bob Arum, knowing that Floyd was at odds with Bob Arum. So that kind of came across as a duck to me on Tim Bradley's part. Not to mention the interview where they asked him about fighting Floyd Mayweather, and he flat out said, I don't know how I'd fight Floyd Mayweather. And it sounded as if he didn't have any confidence in himself. When did Tim Bradley ever flat out call out Floyd Mayweather and say, hey, I want to fight Floyd Mayweather. Floyd, I want you, make the fight happen? Never. He was always on the fence about it. He was too nonchalant about it. So most people, including the fans, the Floyd Mayweather fans and the Tim Bradley fans, didn't push for that fight because he was too nonchalant about it. So it's really to his own doing. Do I think Tim Bradley would have beat Floyd Mayweather in an actual fight? Absolutely not. So to you Tim Bradley fans, please don't come on here and say that Floyd ducked Tim Bradley, because that's just absurd. Nobody's going for that shit. Now, how do I think the fight would have turned out? I think it would have been an exciting fight because due to the fact we all know Tim Bradley don't have no punching power. So Floyd more than likely would have probably had the same results as the Cotto fight. I think you would have saw a lot more action in that fight, because at the end of the day, Floyd fights each opponent different, and Tim Bradley didn't have no punching power. So we all know that it would have opened up the opportunity for Floyd to unleash his offense, which I think he would have, and I think Floyd would have won a 12-round decision. I think it would have been an exciting fight, but I would have had Floyd winning that fight. So, as I said before, this is pretty much all Tim Bradley's fault. He should not have re-signed with Top Rank. I think, to be honest with you, Tim Bradley would have got better fights if he hadn't re-signed with Top Rank. And to be honest with you, had he got that fight with Floyd Mayweather, that also would have now, if Floyd would have took that fight, that sort of would have closed the door on that. Oh, hey, Floyd don't like fighting black fighters, which I already debunked anybody that came with that, because that was complete bullshit. So I don't want to hear that shit, but I'm just keeping it 100. Tim Bradley, it is his own fault that he did not get a fight with Floyd Mayweather. That's something he's going to have to live with the rest of his career. He's going to have to sit down and say, damn, I cost myself millions of dollars, because it would have been a lucrative fight. And by the time, Floyd was on his way out, it was sort of like too little too late. And I don't think Floyd would have did business with Bob Arum after the Pacquiao fight, because Tim Bradley had been in a point in his career where he had that war with Ruslan Provodnikov. He had, lost to Manny Pacquiao a couple of times. So, it just wouldn't have made no sense really for Floyd to fight him. It would have been better if they were two undefeated fighters. So he had a chance and he blew it. So that's my thoughts on the whole Tim Bradley situation. I'm out.